Welcome back to Be Blessed Game Studios. My name is John, and recently I was creating some help concept for my game Sou'wester. On Discord some people asked me how my creative process is for these, so in today's video I'm gonna show you how I go from some concept I found online to the actual model in game. Now without further ado, let's get started. As a first step, I always search for some inspiration, even though I might not recreate exactly what I found, but it's always good to have something to start off with and to then adapt or change a little bit. For example, with this helm here, I took some interesting camera application I found online as a base and then adapted a little bit to fit my needs. And by the way, it can go really fast, this camera. I really love that concept. The idea for this creation came from some wrist assistant device I found online. It had some mats behind it which helped me get the angles right while modeling, but other than that it's really just the design that spoke to me. One of the main features of this paper was that the center of rotation is inside your wrist joint. This made it perfect to make it into a joystick concept. Now that we have the idea, let's go over to the next step, the modeling. When it comes to modeling, I'm a bit special. As some of you might know, I'm actually not a full-time game dev. I still have my main job as an engineer. So to me it is actually more natural to model in a CAD, and especially with these mechanical designs, a CAD makes way more sense as we have constraints. These constraints are really great if you want to make mechanical designs, because I can for example take two holes and join them together, and then all the axles and translations get locked, other than that one that should move. As soon as I have then modeled everything in the CAD, I can port it over to Blender, because it's still easier to model the other stuff in a conventional modeling program, because they are made to model and the CAD is mainly made for mechanical construction, so that's why I use both. One thing that's a little bit annoying about this process is that as soon as I port it over to Blender, all my constraints are gone, so I have to redo them. In this case here, I used a rig to mimic the same functions, so I don't have to make all these constraints again, which is then also easier to import into Unity. And now that we have the joysticks working again in Blender, we can start with the rest of the chair, of course. And for that I used a base model I have from Cinti and imported that, and then built upon it, because it's always easier to build upon something than to start from scratch. As inspiration for the chair itself, I took this picture here. But I have to say, in the end I didn't even use it that much because the creative process took me somewhere else, but I still liked where I ended up. With the modeling completed, we can now start with animating, and after that is done we have a finished model which we can port over to Unity. So that's my creative process, which I use to make these mechanical designs. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know down in the comments if there is anything I should go further into. And with that all said, thank you very much for watching and have a blessed day.